Peace. What's the word, everybody? How we living? How we feeling on this wonderful Monday, man? Hopefully everybody is chilling. Hopefully everybody is being healthy, being positive, being safe, all that good stuff, man. What's the word? Powerful subject matter for the day. So hopefully y'all got about an hour or so to chop it up and build with the kid. But let me know how y'all living and feeling before we start tapping in and building on the subject matter for the day. What's the word with y'all, man? Montel, peace. What's happening, man? Everything is good. My way, we maintaining. That's all we can do, man, on this wonderful Monday. That's all that we can do on this wonderful Monday, man. Y'all see the particular title for the stream, talking about how to navigate when a lady is not receptive to lifestyle changes that you bring to the table, and vice versa, of course. Bonafide piece, what's happening? And I'm gonna break down the science of how people grow apart. See, people don't be understanding these things, man. When they say we grew apart, we're gonna break down how that actually begins to happen and how you could prevent it from getting to that point. A lot of times we let this stuff drag on for years. We let it drag on for years, like we've been growing apart for years, and then 10, 15 years later, it's like, all right, we've grown apart. Let's go ahead and end this. Well, you could have prevented wasting all of that time if you just would have paid attention to some simple things in the beginning. And that's what this stream is about. But a lot of times we let it drag on for years, the whole growing apart thing. We let that drag on for years to the point where, like I say, it get 10, 15 years down the line. It's like, all right, let's finally go ahead and end this because it looks like we ain't on the same page. Forget being on the same page. We ain't in the same book type deal. But we got to stop wasting our time, man. Time is very precious. I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't want to be wasting time with a person that I felt like we've been growing apart for 10, 15 years. Like, nah, I need to know that immediately so that I can go ahead and move on ASAP. You can't get that 10, 15 years back. So we need to start paying attention to signs. Listen, we need to start paying attention to signs more frequently. We need to keep our head on the swivel looking for these red flags and these signs in regards to growing apart, in regards to people showing you their true colors. Like, we need to pay attention more frequently so that we don't continue to fall for the okie doke, because again, that's what's happening. We are falling for the okie doke a lot of times. So in order for us to prevent that, man, we got to keep our head on that swivel. We got to analyze, we got to examine, observe, and we got to do that on a consistent basis. We don't do that on a consistent basis. That's how certain actions and people slip through the cracks. Beast by Bless Zone out. Peace. What's happening with you? Bonafide, there you go. I wouldn't even let it get to year 5, especially once you give them the ultimatum. I wouldn't even let it get to year 5. I wouldn't even let it get to year 5. It's like, all right, man, I presented this to you, and this now going on year 5. It's like, nah, I'm not wasting any more time. We got to go. We got to move on. We got to continue living. We got to find somebody, or we got to attract somebody that's going to value our lifestyle changes, value the things that we value, and all of that type of good stuff. Just value us. So I'm not about to waste time with a person that don't really value what I stand for, that don't really value me as a person. It's like, no, I'm not going to waste time because I'm looking at some type of potential. Like, listen, potential energy is just that. Potential in a person is just that. Not everybody fulfills their potential. So we got to understand that when you're looking at somebody just based off of their potential, that's not saying much, because that don't necessarily mean that they will live out that potential or they will fulfill that potential. That don't necessarily mean that they will take that potential energy and turn it into kinetic energy. So no, we can't. We at some point we gotta look past the potential and say, what are they actually showing me? What are they actually putting into motion? That's what we got to do. Like, that's how we got to start approaching the situation, man. So the whole potential thing, that sounds good and whatnot, but you got to make sure they are living in a way that will show and prove that they will eventually fulfill that potential. If they're not living in a way to say, okay, they're going to fulfill that potential, then you might want to reevaluate or reassess the situation. Clocks in. Peace. What's happening with you, my brother? Bonafide, exactly. Not what you desire, not what you wish, not what you pray for. You got to look at the reality for what it is. Not what you think it should be, not what you think, not what you want it to be, Look at the reality of what it is. The reality of what it is, man. Again, we start looking at people how we want them to be. Incorrect. Incorrect. That's having expectations and things like that, man. Again, we didn't talked about having expectations for people and how that leads to suffering and misery. So again, like, nothing people do surprises me because I don't have these type of expectations. It is what it is. I have principles, I have things that I stand for, and I'm going to let you know these things that I stand for. And if you don't respect what I stand for, then we moving on. Again, I don't expect for people to respect what I stand for or disrespect, but I'm going to present it to you. I'm going to let you know that this is what we stand for. This is what I stand for. And if you don't respect it, then boom, we moving on. If you do respect it, cool. It is what it is. We're going to continue to move on either way we go. But you got to let people know what you stand for right out the gate. Right out the gate. Beats by Bless Zone out. For sure. And we know how the emotions be getting us in today's time, man. The emotions, we controlled by those emotions. We controlled by those emotions, that energy emotion. Like, not understanding that we the sole controllers of them, so we can dictate the flow of the emotions. But we don't do that. We don't exercise that power. We allow these emotions to dictate how we move. And that's when the emotions can become detrimental. Because again, in and of themselves, they neutral, not negative, not positive. They just emotions. But when we allow those emotions to take over us, to consume us and dictate how we move, then that's when they can become detrimental and lead to very bad decisions. Very bad decisions. And we don't have time for very bad decisions out here. Clocks in for sure. And I'm gonna give you a jewel on that one. I'm gonna give you a jewel on that one. You say I look at the best parts of people, but sometimes that blinds me to their day-to-day actions. Exactly. So what we listen, focus on the best parts, but you're gonna acknowledge the bad parts, and then you got pros and cons. You know, so when the bad outweighs the good, you already know how that go. You already know. So you can focus on the best part. You can settle on the best part when it comes to a person. But we're gonna acknowledge the bad parts. And again, if that bad is outweighing the good, it's like, I see that good in you, but you got too much bad. And it's bringing down the good, and that's not gonna be good for my mental. That's not gonna be good for my health. So we're gonna have to move on from this particular relationship. At this stage in my life, I'm not willing to deal with somebody that has way more bad than good. I'm not in that stage in my life where I'm trying to repair somebody. Like, nah. Oh yeah, bona fide, beating around the bush. They good for that. They good for beating around the bush. We already know. Percy, my brother, appreciate that donation. Oh, Percy, you say it seemed like there's so much finessing out here. Should I play broke the first 6 months? Nah, you don't have to play anything. You don't have to play anything. You don't have to do anything but be yourself. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And one of the reasons why we have a lot of this finessing, let's be honest. One of the biggest reasons why we have a lot of this finessing going on is because of YouTube. A lot of people are tapping into a lot of these platforms on YouTube, and that's why you see a lot of finessing going on, because a lot of these platforms are teaching that. So that's why you see a lot of finessing going on. Let's be real in the field. YouTube is influencing a lot of the finessing that's going on out here. So that's why you seeing a lot of finessing, because again, they teaching it for shock value and things along those lines. But nah, you ain't got to play broke. You ain't got to play rich. Just be yourself. You ain't got to play anything. Just be yourself. Listen, if you literally want to see if something is going to work or not, just be yourself. That's the best thing. I'm gonna show up to something exactly how I am as a person. See, what happens is, this is what happens. When people dating in the beginning, everybody likes to put on a facade in the front. They want to act one way, they want to sweet talk the woman, and then when they get her, or when they get each other, then they want to bring out the true self, their true selves. That's what they like to do. So it's like in the beginning, and that's why a lot of times you would hear a lot of women say, "Man, well, in the beginning he was this way, he was that way," it's like that's what we do. A lot of people fake it in the beginning just so they can get what it is that they want. And then once they get it, now here come the true version of themselves. It'll be much nicer if everybody just stayed true in the beginning. Like if I'm tapping in, if I'm going on a date with you, listen, what you see is what you get. This how I'm gonna show up to the date. It is what it is. I'm gonna let you know everything, man. I might be 5 minutes late or so. So if you like somebody to be prompt, hey, I might be a little late when I'm saying, if I say I'm picking you up at 7, man, it might be about 7:05 for real though. I might be running a little late. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't finna front like I'm just this certain type of dude. Like, nah, I know exactly who I am. And that's the exact person that you gonna get in the beginning, in the middle, in the end. You gonna get that. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. But a lot of times people be fronting. And that's how a lot of people get thrown off. Jasmine, Peach Queen, what's happening? What's the word? Jason, Peach, what's happening? Lindell, Peach, what's the word? Yeah, Bonafide, man. I ain't tapped into the sin. I ain't tapped into that in a minute. Throw it off, introvert. Peace, what's happening? Yeah, Bonafide, exactly. So a lot of times in the beginning, and again, I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's what they call game. And a lot of times, just on the honest end, women are victims of this. You know what I'm saying? The dude telling the woman what he feel like she want to hear, not what she needs to hear, just to get a desired result. Now, in this day and age, women are doing the same thing because everybody just grimy out here. But back in the day, this used to impact the women a lot more. Dudes spitting that game, telling them what they want to hear. Like, man, I want to have a big family. I want to get whole wild, knowing that these are no goals of his. He's just telling her what he thinks that she wants to hear. And once he sweet talker, then he finna get the desired result. And once he get it, now the true colors come out. Now the true colors come out, man. That's what happens. That's what happens, man. So you got to watch out for that crown piece. What's happening? But let me go back in reference to what the title of this particular stream is. Say if a lady is not receptive to your lifestyle changes or the lifestyle changes that you bring to the table, then it's time to move on. And one of the reasons why I had one thing that inspired this stream is that I had a conversation with a good brother of mine, man, and he was just talking about his situation, you know, married with kids, but he like, man, it's time, they about to split. And the reason why they splitting is because it's like, man, he's like, man, I'm just on a different vibe, man. I'm on a different path, I'm on a different journey. And she's not striving to she's not respecting my journey and the path that I'm on, but she's not open to grow, to evolve. And I was like, yeah, man, it's time for you to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many kids y'all got, man. If the love is not present, for one, the kids gonna pick up on that. Secondly, that's going to impact the kids more so than anybody if y'all try to force yourselves to remain together when the love is not present. That's the worst thing that you can do. So a lot of times people try to force themselves to remain together for the sake of the children, whole while the love is not present. Whole while they neglecting themselves and their inner peace. Like that, the kids are going to suffer. Y'all will be fools if y'all think the kids are blind to the fact to where they don't pick up on that type of energy. They pick up on that type of energy. They know when something is off between mom and pops. So y'all think y'all stand together for the sake of the kids. Whole while the kids is observing what's going on and they don't like it. You know, so sometimes doing what's best for you is doing what's best for your kids, especially if it's about establishing that inner peace. You know, so I had to commend that brother for realizing that, hey, man, I'm striving. And he was saying things like, man, I'm striving to eat right, but I spend all my time on the road driving and things like that. Then when I come home, like she cooking food that's not healthy, knowing that that's not what I'm on. So it's like, man, I understood that. And dude is not willing to sit around and try to do something for the sake of the kids. Like, man, I'm trying to get my life together and she's not helping. He was like, man, it's time to go. And that's right and exact. That's right and exact. I mean, you out here putting in work, and it's like the least that the partner can do is like try to respect some healthy lifestyle changes that you trying to make. you know. And I was like, that's kind of messed up, man. You spending all your time on the road, this, that, and the third, and you didn't made knowledge born that you trying to eat healthy. Then when you get from the road, did all this driving, you ain't even got a healthy meal. It's some trash that you're not supposed to be eating. It's like, come on. Like somebody should be on board with something like that, man. That's we trying to eat healthy. We trying to stay alive. We trying to be here for the children. They can't respect that. Like it's like, all right, man, hold on. It's time for me to evaluate this situation. Clocks in for sure. I mentioned the vice versa aspect in the beginning, and vice versa. I mean, because at the end of the day, we all on our little journeys and paths and all of that good stuff. So, and what's crazy is a lot of brothers I know, a few brothers I know, in reference to eating healthy, a few brothers I know made the transition to vegetarianism because their lady was vegetarian. She was like, they was like, man, I was dealing with this lady, man. All she did was cook vegetarian. So I tried it out and I ended up liking it. And then they became vegetarian because they were receptive. They were receptive. They wasn't like, oh man, where the meat at? No, it was like, well, if you cooking this vegetarian food, I'm finna eat it. And that right there led to one of the best transitions they will ever make in their life. So look how far being receptive to lifestyle changes can get you. I'm not talking about somebody trying to force you to do something that's not right and exact. We talking about things like eating healthy. We talking about bringing information to the table that will help elevate you. Like if you're not receptive to that, that's going to lead to problems down the line. The wife's in the building. Y'all say peace to the wife. Shantae, man, I know it's a lot of other children in that same boat. Like, man, why don't y'all get it over with already? Just go ahead and break up because this toxic. This is ridiculous. So people got to understand, y'all ain't necessarily got to be on the same page, but y'all at least got to be in the same book. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. Sometimes not being on the same page can lead to misunderstandings and whatnot. But man, if I'm in the same book, then I can go find the page that you on. You know what I'm saying? At least we taking in the same type of content because we at least in the same book. A lot of times, man, people ain't even on the same book. And that's what will happen if somebody is not receptive to your lifestyle changes. Y'all gonna end up different books. And it's not gonna work at all if y'all in two totally different books. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work at all. Like that is not going to work at all because at the end of the day, what's going to end up happening? If I'm striving to make healthier changes in my life, if I'm striving to make more positive changes in my life, again, keywords, healthy, positive. These are things that's not going to harm anybody. It's only going to lead to your elevation. So if I'm striving to be healthier, if I'm striving to be more positive, powerful, all of that good stuff, and you not, what's going to end up happening is, all right, we're gonna go from the same page, all right, to different pages. Then we're going to be in different chapters. And then I'm going to go to a completely different book. And by the time I get to this completely different book, now it's almost like we don't have much to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a connection because we're not even on the same book. We don't have no connection. The connection is gone. So that's when you hear people say, oh, we grew apart. That's what happened. It's like, man, I kept going. I finished the book that we was on. As a matter of fact, I finished the page that we was on, read the next page, made it to the next chapter, read the 7 to 8 chapters after that. Then I went on to another book. She stayed on that same page. How you gonna gain an understanding of a topic if you stuck on page 1 of the book? If I got a book right here, if this book is 150 pages, if I want to gain a thorough understanding of this book, how am I going to be able to do that by staying on page 1? If I want to get a thorough understanding of the book, I got to go to page 2. I got to go to page 3, and I got to get all the way up to page 150 if I'm striving to get a thorough understanding of this book. So again, there is going to be no progression if you stuck on that same page, page 1, and you don't want to go no further than page 1. Life is about evolution and growth, not stagnation, inertia. Like it's not about any of that. It's not about being still. Like you gotta flip the page. Gotta flip the page. So y'all gotta understand that, man. Once we get into different books, like we finna have problems. And C Square appreciate that donation. So people don't understand that, man. And you know when y'all in two totally different books. Y'all know, when you like, all right, they still on this book and I'm all the way on this book. All right, y'all know when that connection is off. Y'all know it. Terenzo, peace. What's happening? Tony, peace. What's the word? Carlton, and that's why we here to shed light to it. To shed light to it. MMR Enterprise, peace. What's happening? See, Trey, I ain't mad at that perspective, man. We ain't mad at that at all. Because for one, you shouldn't be worried about them. You shouldn't be worried about a woman if you a man. You shouldn't be worried about a man if you a woman. You shouldn't even really, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be worried about that at all. Your focus always should be on yourself. So you should never be sitting around as a man worrying about women. And vice versa for the women. You should never be sitting around worrying about men. Like, no. You should never be worrying about them at all. That's not how to live. Oh, Carlton, for sure. People don't want to elevate. They afraid of it. When they say, listen, they got something, y'all know the song back in the day, More Money, More Problems. I feel like with more like the elevation, with elevation comes discipline, like more discipline, more structure, more accountability. And people are afraid of that. That's why a lot of people like to remain stagnant, inert, at that standstill. Because with elevation, again, comes more discipline, more accountability, more power, like all of those type of things, man. People are afraid of that. People are afraid of that. They're like, man, if you continue to elevate, by default, you're going to come across some things that's going to instill discipline in you. People don't want that discipline. People do not want that discipline. Just think about it. One way that most people can elevate in the wilderness of North America is eating better, eating healthier. But they like, why would I do that? Because what is that going to lead to? More discipline, because you can't eat this, you can't eat that. You got to eat these, you got to eat that. It's more discipline. Any aspect, any realm of your life where you want to elevate, the higher you go, the more discipline is required. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. God is peace, queen. What's happening? Clocks in, most definitely. Self-love is huge in every situation. Every situation. Peep the game. Peace, peace. For sure. Self-love is real crucial. And I was just talking to somebody, I was talking to a client today, man. We, they was talking about what we was talking about, just making peace with people, and feeling like, I don't want to say waiting for people to make peace with you, like some people that did you wrong, whether it be your kids, your moms, your cousin, whatever, family members that you feel like should reach out to you and make peace with you. First of all, never expect that, and I told her, I was like, secondly, I was like, man, listen, nobody is going to make peace with you until they make peace with themselves. And that was like the jewel right there. Like, man, ain't nobody going to make peace with you until they make peace with themselves. Man, if somebody did you wrong, the only way that they going to reach out to you and apologize and make peace with you is if they make peace with themselves. That's it. Ain't nobody going to strive to make peace with you if they don't feel like what they did was wrong. If internally they are wicked and foul, like, nah, they got to make peace with themselves. And then by default, when they make peace with themselves, they're going to start reaching out to the people that they wrong. That is how that's going to naturally go. So at the end of the day, man, don't be sitting around waiting for somebody to apologize and make peace with you. And you know what I'm saying? You can't control that. You can't control that. If you didn't do anything wrong to a person, it's like, leave it at that. If I didn't do anything to you, but yet you did something to me, then I'm good. I don't have anything to worry about. I treated you right and exact. You the one that betrayed. You betrayed me. You did me foul. You did me dirty. That's on you. You're going to have to deal with them consequences. I ain't worried about it. So I'm not about to waste my time saying, man, oh, man, I can't believe such and such did that to me. First of all, that's the problem. Can't believe somebody. Everybody capable. But I'm not about to be sitting around waiting for somebody to reach out and apologize to me. Nah, if I didn't do anything to you, it is what it is. You felt some type of way for whatever reason you felt that way for. You got to live with that. I'm going to keep on pushing, keep on living. Slaps, traps, radio, peace. What's happening? Throw it off. And that's exactly what I told her, man. That's what I told her. Terenzo, exactly. You know, and again, learning how to breathe. Even posture. Let's just even focus on something like proper posture. You know what I'm saying? That's a form of your life where you can elevate that people sleep on. Just fixing your posture. That's gonna lead to more discipline because now you gotta watch how you sit. You gotta watch how you walk. You gotta watch, you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch how you do everything. So with elevating your posture, more discipline. So every aspect of your life, man, where you elevating, it's gonna come with more discipline, more accountability. People are afraid of those things, man. People are afraid of discipline and accountability, even though they go hand in hand, you know. People are afraid of those things. Oh, we're never peace. What's happening? Carson, what you say? You and your younger cousin had this convo before I jumped on the live. They're trying to bring a fight that he obviously doesn't want. You know, and it's crazy because we tapped in. I be telling all the people I'm tapped in, man. You was crazy. You was just having a conversation, and here we are. Tapped in. Rude boy, peace. What's happening? Terenzo for sure. That's exactly what I was telling her. I was like, listen, you know what I'm saying? The people that you feel like should be, you know what I'm saying, making peace with you. Like again, if they haven't done that with themselves, man, you might as well cancel it. You might as well, you know what I'm saying, you might as well get on with your life. They got to make peace with themselves, man. So I ain't expecting anybody to reach out to me that did me dirty to be like, man, my bad. Like I don't even care if you do, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to reap what you sow. So you're gonna have to suffer for those consequences regardless. You know, so it's all it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, clocks in. Yeah, accountability, man. Accountability is huge. But then now again, back to the subject matter in regards to the video, not being receptive to the lifestyle changes. It's crazy because I came across just peace. What's happening? Yeah, you already know I don't have no expectations. Yeah, it is what it is. People don't surprise me no matter what they do because I don't have these expectations. But when it comes to being receptive to lifestyle changes, people hear what I'm saying. A lot of people will hear what I'm saying and think it's about force. You trying to force somebody? It ain't even about that. It ain't even about that at all. It's about if you are a man and you in a relationship and you are implementing some things that's leading to your growth and development. It's almost like by default. Like if you with a lady and you have implemented all these things, you came across this information that's leading to your growth and development, and you present it to her, the least she could be is receptive to this information because she should bear witness to the fact that, all right, man, he implemented all this and he's becoming more positive. He's becoming more healthy. If you with a woman and she basically disrespecting all of that, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to move on because that doesn't make any sense. If I'm acquiring or accumulating information, or if I'm coming across a culture that's literally leading me to become healthier, more positive in my thinking, more productive and efficient, and it's like I'm trying to share this information on this lifestyle with you, and you shunning it, you condemning it without even hearing me out, you can't trust that type of individual. Like you can't trust that, man. You can't trust it. You can't trust it because that don't even make it doesn't make any sense. And again, not being receptive. So prime example, if you again, I'm always going back to eating healthy. It's like if you talk about eating healthy with a person and they like, man, I know I need to, but I'm just not ready yet. They receptive. They know they need to do it. They just not ready yet. So when it's their time, they're gonna eventually make the transition, opposed to saying, hey, I came across this vegan lifestyle, this vegetarian lifestyle. I think we should give it a try. They like, man, I ain't giving up meat. I love chicken. You crazy? That is the person that's not receptive. When they give you that type of response and backlash, you might have to consider moving on because that person could essentially hold you back. Because again, you have come across information that will not only help you, but will help that person as well, and they instantly shut it down. I don't trust that person. It's like, dude, I'm introducing something to you that will elevate your health. and you just shutting it down completely as if it will never happen ever. So you don't value your health. So why would I want to stick around for that? Or you come across something like meditation and things like that, and they just shunning you, condemning you instantly. And these are things that are proven to help like the mind and the body. It's like, dude, like you ain't even gotta try it, but hear me out. Like just hear me out. You ain't gotta necessarily do it, but hear me out though. Don't just necessarily shoot it down instantly, you know? Clocks in. The first experiences, because the way that I move, I've always, when I played sports and stuff like that in high school, college, and all that, I always led by example. So I was never the vocal guy, you know. So when I was the captain of the team, I wasn't the loud mouth, man, that was just hooping and hollering all the time. People saw me put in work and was like, "Hey, this dude putting in all his work. That I'm finna model my work ethic after him." Cause he putting in work, he ain't saying nothing. He coming in doing whatever it is that's asked of him, and then going a little bit harder after the fact. So in relationships, that's always how I came into the gate, and that's how I came into the gate in this marriage. Like it's like action. I came across some things at the same time where I was meeting her, like right before it. I was coming into some things, into a culture that was helping me elevate, that was elevating me, still with the coach to this day. But I was just now coming into a lot of this information, a lot of these lifestyle changes. So my approach is always action. So it's like if I'm doing these things and the person that I'm with see me doing these things, see me going to parliaments, see me talking to this group of people, see me involving myself with this culture, and see that this culture is causing me to become more critical in my thinking. It's causing me to think before I speak. It's instilling discipline. It got me changing the way that I'm eating. It's got me respecting women. Then it's like by default in my mind, they're gonna be like, I'm interested, I'm intrigued. It's like, dude, this is leading to your growth and development. I want to learn more about it. It ain't necessarily converting, it's just the fact I want to learn more about it. That means they receptive and open to your lifestyle, your culture. Again, you ain't convert nobody, it's just they are open to it. They want to learn about it, which is gonna lead to an understanding. But in some people, they don't want to hear anything about that. Prime example, y'all know the culture that I'm with. Plenty of people, right when I was coming out the gate with it initially, before I, you know what I'm saying? They was, soon as I would start talking about the culture, instantly they like, I don't want to hear that. But then they want to drill me over the head with their religion. It's like, well, dad, you don't want to hear nothing about my culture, but you expect for me to sit and listen to everything about your religion, which I'm receptive. I will listen to this. Of course, I got my level, I got my tolerance level before I have to start letting you know some things I disagree with. But initially, I'm gonna listen to what it is you have to say. But if you don't respect me enough to allow me to get my things off my chest about my culture, then we have a problem. And I came across that a lot of times, man. As soon as I start talking about it, boom, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. This is what I believe, woo woo. And then they bash me over the head with that. It's like, dude, hold on, this ain't equality, this ain't balance at all. Oh, Terenzo for sure. For sure, Terenzo. Yeah, that joint was crazy when I saw that. Man, it's crazy because I saw a lot of women agree with that statement. So I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Oh, just yeah. People ain't open-minded at all. And again, like I tell people all the time, man, I didn't got accused of that. But I'm like, man, listen, being open-minded is how I became who I am today. I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't have became a vegan or vegetarian if I wasn't open minded. Like I wouldn't have joined a culture that went against religion if I wasn't open minded. So I'm like, man, people can't nobody say I'm closed minded because every change that I made in my life that led to the person who I am today went against everything that I was taught. Went against everything that I was taught. So I literally had to be open minded to become who I am today, and I got to remain open minded. Big Lord, what you see? Antonio, my brother, peace, what's happening? And Joshua, for sure. Some things just is not meant to be compromised. And that's what people don't understand. People don't understand that at all. Like, at all. And you gotta have certain principles. It's like, dude, like if you ain't going, like if we can't agree on this common cause here, like, dude, nah. Like if we can't agree on this common cause, then like what are we doing? Like what's the plan here? We can't even agree that we both need to be healthy in order to be around for one another and these kids. Like we can't even agree on that and implement a plan to make sure that that actually happens. Like no, I have time for that. So again, like I said, if you bringing some of that information to the table and they not receptive, man, move on, man. Don't invest more time into that situation, man. Don't do it. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, man. If you coming across that information, listen, and she not receptive, like it ain't her time. And again, you might not want to waste that time because it may never be her time. She may never open up. Again, don't go based off potential. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, clocks in and yeah, that's what I was talking about with people. Yeah, listening more than they speak and just understanding the science and art of listening. A lot of people, most people have not mastered that at all, but they have mastered the art of talking. Talking, talking, talking. People have mastered that fact, but when it's time to listen, comprehension, things like that, understanding, that's where people drop the ball. Drop the ball when it comes time to understand and comprehend, the ball has now been dropped. They don't know what they're talking about. What you mean understand? What you mean that I comprehend? It's like, dude, they just want to talk. Like that's the world we live in now. They want to talk, but nobody wants to listen, understand, nor comprehend. Like it's a difference between reading and comprehending. Like people don't understand that, man. You can read that book, but that don't necessarily mean you comprehended that book. You know, Doreen, peace. What's happening? Montel, you say, do you think this can be solved in a simple manner? 100%. Everything can be solved in a simple manner for sure. Like I said, we tend to make things complicated, but everything can be solved in a simple manner. Everything. Matter of fact, the solution is always simple. We just make it very complicated, but the solution is always simple. Always. All right, Vigler, what you say, man? Hold up. Seen a video. A woman was saying that bad boy thugs in our community actually treat them with respect, and that the low key good man be the ones treating them bad. And the comments were agreeing. I got so many ways that I could respond to that. I don't even really know where to start. But I have so many things that I could say in reference to that. In reference to that. I got so many things that I can say in reference to that, man. Because for the most part, it's funny that a woman would say that because what be happening is, dude, some of these bad boys and these thugs, they only treating you with respect. It's all game. So you got the bad boy and you got the thug treating you with respect because he probably using your car. He probably staying at your crib. He probably doing all of these things because he can't afford to do none of these things on his own because he out here in the streets. So of course he gonna semi treat you with respect so that he can continue to, you know, reap the fruits of all of your labor or reap the benefits of all of your labor. So of course he gonna fake it with you until things get a little thick and thin, and then all right, now you in a situation. But they talking about the low key good dudes that treat them bad. Obviously, if he treating you bad, he's not a low key good dude. You know? Oh yeah, Devontae for sure, for sure. So we ain't even gonna get started on that. Like if the dude is treating you bad, then you just called him a bad dude. So you can't be saying all the low key good dudes be the ones treating us bad. That don't even make any sense. They a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? You just said the low key good dudes treat you bad. That means that's a bad guy. You know, that don't even make any sense. It ain't no low-key good dude that treats you bad. He's a bad guy. He treats you, he's bad. You know what I'm saying? So stop doing that. Stop doing that, man. Talking about the thugs and all they treat you with respect and things along those. I'm sure they do. You know, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they benefit highly from treating you with so-called respect. I'm pretty sure you cool with babying this stuff because that's what you at the end of the day, it's what you doing. I mean, they out here in the streets. Like, how legit can they actually be? It's a lot of things that they cannot do because they are out here in the streets, literally. You know, so it's a lot of things that they can't like legitimately do. So they need somebody, they need somebody that they can use as a pawn to be able to do the things they can't do because they out in the streets. Let me get this chick to do it. Come on now. That's how a lot of them be falling for the okie doke. You finna take care of this dude, you know what I'm saying? And he needs you to do that because he can't do things the legit way because he caught up in this way of life. Come on now. Jared, peace, what's happening? Infinite divinity, peace. What's the word? Got us exactly. You know what I'm saying? He like, yeah, I respect you. You know what I'm saying? Let me use this car to drop you off, and then I'm about to go drive over to two or three other women houses and whatnot. Like, come on, man. Like, that is the like people gotta understand, man. Some of us so-called good dudes, whatever you want to call us, man, we not too far removed from the hood, man. We didn't have this hood mentality. We grew up around, so I know these dudes that y'all talking about, man. Like I know these dudes, man. We come from the same cloth. Like I know who you talking about. When you say hood dude, that we hung around these dudes. Some of us were them dudes before and changed. So man, listen, we know how y'all getting treated out here by these hood dudes. We know. We know. So don't start doing that. Don't start doing that. I'm telling you for sure. Yeah, blame us for the poor decisions. It's like, dude, like you hold yourself accountable for the decisions that you make. Keyword decision. Like you made a decision. Dominique, peace, what's happening? It's just that simple. You made a decision. It should stop right there. Decision. Made. Like those are words that stick out. Like I made decision. That's it. You made a decision. You made the wrong one. Or you made the right decision. Whatever it is, however it go for you. But you made a decision at the end of the day. And that's nobody else's fault but yours. You made a decision. You made a decision. Oh, just yeah, you already know how I feel about that. Oh yeah, Divine. Yeah, Divine say that it sounds stupid. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds dumb. It sounds dumb. Sounds dumb talking about you like a scammer, a finesser, things like that. Like, come on, man. Like, man, you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, you ain't like that's just naivety, man. Just gullibility, man. Just thinking you out here talking to a so-called hood dude, and this dude ain't doing no dirt behind your back. Come on, man. Just come on, man. Like, just come on, man. Like I said, a lot of us are cut from that cloth. We know what's really going on. Cut from that same cloth is like, man, people have ulterior motives. You know, we gonna be nice to you know what I'm saying? He gonna be nice to you because he needs something from you. Like that's it. Just like he needs something from his next lady. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably got three or four of them, and you think you the only one. Doors guard and peace. What's happening? Oh yeah, Justin and all right, man. Just you just Yeah, just said. Yeah, yeah. Think that single mother wants her mess cleaned up. No, I'm not a man, so I can't teach my son certain things. Sometimes that's literally what it is. Like sometimes it's literally a single mother just reaching out because it's certain things that she just cannot teach that young son and get him to understand. So she literally just needs another man to just help with that. And it ain't necessarily even got to be a man you're trying to be with. It's just another man to provide this perspective and direction or this understanding for this young son because it's just something that I cannot do or you cannot do as a single mother. Sometimes people don't understand that fact, man. It ain't even necessarily me raising your young son. It's just like, man, it's just, hey, you see that I'm strong in this area, and you know this is an area where I can't really kind of communicate with my young son. Would you mind helping him here? You know, again, I just really wish we had the village mentality, but we don't. Big Smooth, peace, what's happening? Yeah, I really wish we had the village mentality, man. Like life would be a lot better if we had the village mentality, man. Just tribal mentality, like you know what I'm saying, something. Like I just really wish we had that mentality, man. It is just it'll make things a lot smoother, man, a lot easier to navigate. You know, life as a black man, as a black woman. If we just had that village mentality, man. I wish we had it, man. But you know, again, that's me looking at the world the way I want it to be and not how it actually is. Killing them softly. Peace, peace. Appreciate the donation. You say they you say they love fast money. They most definitely love the fast money. It's crazy. They love the fast money. I'm about to say they love the fast money until they get them locked jammed up. And they still love it. Even when they get jammed up out here, they still love it. You know what I'm saying? They still love it. They get jammed up. Like I still love it. You know, man, I be hearing, I just be hearing and seeing some crazy things, man. I be seeing some weird qualifications. And again, we all got our preferences, man. I ain't mad at you for having a preference, but sometimes preferences be kind of like left field on me. You know, people date people according to a lot of different things other than how the person actually is, like what they heart and they mind like. People a date for job titles, type of car you drive. Again, we already talked about height and things like that, but it's just like that's how people get abused and mistreated. Sometimes when a woman says something like these low key good dudes be the ones that treat you bad, well, their criteria for a good dude may be off. They may think a dude is good because he got a certain type of job. You know what I'm saying? Because he taking care of himself financially. He worked 2 or 3 jobs, or he in this field. He a doctor, or he this. He a lawyer. He do this type of, you know what I'm saying? He do this type of work for a living. Like what qualifies a man as good? Because how can you say the low key good dudes be the ones that treat you bad? Well, shouldn't his treatment of you determine whether or not if he's good or bad? So I ain't understanding that. So I don't understand how you can say this low key good dude treats me bad. No, that should be the criteria. How does he treat you should be the original criteria for determining if they are good or bad. That should be your original criteria. So you already determined somebody was good based off of like some type of external factor or factors before you analyze their mind, their heart, and how they treat you. So again, that don't make any oxymoron. A good dude treats you bad. No, he's a bad person that treated you bad. Yeah, Big Smooth for sure. Monetary value for sure. That's literally what it is. But you ain't really tapped into the mind. You ain't tapped into the history, the past, the traumas that they didn't dealt with. Like you ain't dealt with a lot. You just look at a dude that just go to work, make some money, pay the bills, and you be like, that's a good dude. Being a good dude is a little deeper than that. Yeah, being a good guy, being a good person is a little bit deeper than going to work, paying bills. Like being a good dude is a little bit deeper than that, man. You gotta tap into the mind, man. You gotta tap into the heart. You gotta tap into the past. You know what I'm saying? You gotta tap into a lot of things. Gotta tap into a lot of things, man. So again, if you say a low-key good dude treated you bad, no, like what do you mean? Door for sure. Tangible items can always be replaced. Always be replaced, man. But the integrity, the character, all of that good stuff, man. All of that good stuff cannot be replaced at all. Oh yeah, yeah, just you say yeah, the food stamp. Yeah, crying about McDonald's money, then hollering about me getting a couple food stamps. So, yeah, real in the field. Infinite divinity for sure. For sure. But yeah, man, you got to ask yourself, man, what qualifies a person as a good person? What qualifies a person as a bad person? If the way that they treat you is not a determining factor, like, yeah, you looking at this thing wrong. Sharif, in peace, what's happening? Like you looking at this thing all wrong. So again, what qualifies somebody as good? What qualifies somebody as bad? Like those are questions. That's the homework. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? What qualifies somebody as good? So what qualifies a man as a good man? When does he reach good man status? When does she reach good woman status? When do they reach great man status? When do they reach great woman status? You know what I mean? Like we throw around these terms, but it's like, have we defined them really? Yeah, Antonio, for sure. And again, don't go crying when you have unrealistic preferences. You want to do that, you know what I'm saying? You want a thug by night and a branch manager of a bank by day. You know what I'm saying? You want a CEO of a large company by night or by day, and you want a thug that shoots up the projects by night. Like that don't even make any sense. It's like when you hear the criteria that some of these women have, it's like they describing everything in one person. I want a respectable, disrespectful person. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like I want a respectful guy, but he knows when to put me in my place. He knows when to be disrespectful to me. What? Like that's literally what it be sounding like. I want a respectful, disrespectful person. And they always say, a lot of times when you hear the criteria, they always say, I want a such and such, but they know, but know when to do this, that, and the third. Like, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, forget all of that. You ain't finna say, man, I want this type of guy, but then he knows when to. Hey, man, shut up. Like, nah, man, we ain't operating like that. Because again, you want somebody to operate on your time. You want this dude to turn into a thug on your time. You want this dude to turn into a person that spices things up on your time. That's what you are saying. That's what you are saying. You are saying, well, I want this type of dude, but then he knows when to. No, you basically saying, I want this type of dude, but then when I tell him to be like this, then he makes a transition. That's what you really saying. That's what you really saying. I ain't got time for that. I didn't heard. I'm telling you, I didn't heard some confusing. I didn't heard some confusing preferences. Like that's when I get like that's when I'm like, what? How? So what exactly are you wanting? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you want a gang banging CEO, regular Joe, but the whole world knows him. Keep it low key, but still famous. Don't really have all, don't make more than me, but makes a lot of money. Like, what do you want? What are you asking for? Like, I be confused when people start talking about their preferences, mainly women. when some women be all over the place with what they want. Not all of them, but man, I have come across some women. I'm like, dude, what did you just describe to me? Like, this person literally does not exist. I'm sorry to inform you, but this type of dude don't exist, and I don't care what culture you go to, because I don't know what you just described. Jared, peace, appreciate that donation. You say you're right, bro. I know this 30-year-old chick who had to resort to dating this 20-year-old who asked her for $200 because of past bad relationships in the past. She had to resort to this, and she 30 with bad credit with a son. See, and that, I mean, I ain't even mean to laugh, man, but man, that's all bad, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all bad, man. That's like really all bad. But it's like, hey, man, we gotta reap what we sow type deal, man. Read what we sow. So we just gotta deal with it. And that's life. Infinite. It's like because I was smart. Wanted me to play dumb though. There you go. That's what I'm saying. You want a dumb smart dude. You know what I'm saying? He can't be smart. He can't be smarter than me, but you know what I'm saying? He gotta be intelligent. What does that mean? Like, how you gonna say I don't want somebody smarter than me, but they gotta be intelligent? What does that mean? Like, no, like that sounds dumb. Just I want somebody that's intelligent. I don't care whether or not they are more intelligent than me, because that ain't what it's about. We ain't competing in regards to intelligence. Like, no, I don't care. Like, just give me somebody that's intelligent. You know, like what do we be talking? What do we be saying out here? Like, I'm asking y'all, what do people be talking about? Mr. Barbados, appreciate that donation. Throw it off. You say any advice on dating women with a bad past, high body count, etc. I know it's a different subject. Throw it off. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be 100% real. Like, when I was in the dating scene, and I was young at the time, so I actually feel like this is justified, because you know what I'm saying, I'm 18, 19, 20, boom. High body counts used to turn me off. Like, I used to be unattracted. Like, that's it, turn off. You know, and people don't understand. I do the knowledge. Like, I'm observant. Again, you let people talk, they're gonna tell you the truth. So a lot of times I will find out a person had a high body count without them actually having to come out and tell me. It's something they will come out and they will literally say little things so it's like, oh, okay, this person, they've been getting down. And I'll be right 99% of the time. But that used to be a problem for me. As you get older, it's almost like it's inevitable. If you 30 plus and you dating and you come across women that's your same age, hey, more than likely the body count gonna be high. And one of the reasons why it was a turn off for me, I'm gonna go back to transparency. One of the reasons is because I didn't have a high body count. I know that's hard to believe for some people. Some people think I was just out here going crazy. Like, nah, hey, the body was a temple. I wasn't out here doing that. So I didn't necessarily have a high body count. So when I came across women that did, at that age, I was like, hold the phone, hold up. Like, that was like an instant turnoff. Like, when I just felt like you was out here. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, I was right. So I was like, nah, man, I ain't trusting this particular situation. But now it's like, it's almost something that you got to learn to accept the older you get. It's like, dude, if you 30, 31 and you talking to another 30, 31-year-old, they didn't been living out here. So they didn't did some things, man. And it's just like, you got to accept that, man. They did those things before they ever came across you. So now it's your time, man. So just make the best of it, man. Like, that was in the past. It happened. It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, the bad past situation, that could get a little sticky too, because a lot of people, man, hey, suffer from the things that happened to them in the past. Like, most people suffer because of what happened to them in the past. So at the end of the day, when it comes to something like that, because like I said, you can't force anybody to change. You can come with all type of advice and whatnot, but you can't make a person change. So when you evaluating that person that got that bad past, man, you just got to analyze them to see, okay, how are they dealing with the trauma from the past? And if they not dealing with it at all, they suppressing it, then you got to have a conversation with them. Like, hey, man, I noticed that we chopped it up about your past, and your past is bothering you, and a lot of these conflicts was unresolved. So it's like, and I'm noticing that you really not striving to do much. to resolve these conflicts? Is there anything I can do to help? If they shun you or condemn you, then it's like you might want to step back from it. But if they receptive to that presentation, then it's like cool. But if a person is not willing to receive help for things that they didn't went through, because that's part of, you know what I'm saying, that's part of self-help, self-love, knowing that you kind of need some assistance because you can't deal with this on your own. Some people can master it on their own, but when you notice that a person can't, if they not opening up and saying, okay, man, I might need some help with this situation, man, you might want to reevaluate that, because that person, like, they gonna carry that trauma, they gonna carry that past trauma around forever, and it's going to negatively impact your situation. So you just got to see what it is that they are doing to resolve the conflicts, and if they are doing nothing, then you got to present some solutions to them and see if they open to the solutions. Percy, my brother, appreciate that donation. You said I heard the girl say she want a bank manager, but he got to be scamming the banks. Wow. Yeah, so, oh man, so you want so you want the bank manager, but he's scamming the bank. Boy, that's crazy. Hey, Big Smooth, that's exactly what they be wanting. That's crazy. But hey, I'm telling you, I done heard weird combinations and preferences. Like I've heard some strange things. I'm sorry, all my queens on this joint, because I know that y'all ain't out here saying that y'all want a bank manager to scam the bank, you know. But as men, we have come across some crazy preferences. You know what I'm saying? Like they be like, I want a short, like, you know what I'm saying, I want a short dude with tall man energy. What did you just say to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that even mean? Like, that's something that a chick will say to you. Like, I want a short guy with some tall man energy. What? Like, you just like, what did you just say? Like, explain that. Like, you ain't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like, that is what's happening. So I be hearing people preferences, and I'm saying, okay, that's why you are solo dolo. That's why you are lonely, alone. Cause like, what are you literally, you want something that don't. It's almost like when you play video games, you would create a player and you would put hundreds all across the board. It's like that player rarely exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody got hundreds across the board. Like, what are you talking about? Ashley, my sister, peace, what's happening? Antonio, gotta deal with the consequences, man. Gotta deal with them. C Square, they rarely hear me. Yeah, Antonio, and that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and back in the day, I was just like, you know, I'm naive. I'm like, man, we some young boys. We ain't supposed to be out here like that, man. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. I was like, man, people are out here. It was just like little small things that I picked up on to just recognize when I didn't trust a woman, as far as her body count and her being out here. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it was some things that I'd be noticing. And I'm like, yeah, it don't take much to, and then just on the personal level, like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't taking much to get what you want from her. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure I ain't the only one that came in sweet talked her. You know, so it's like, yeah, just picking up on things, man. Devontae for sure. Loverboy Troy, the robot, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because they can program a robot. Oh yeah, just for sure. You know, they say spin that narrative, like spin the bottle. They spinning the narrative. At least that's what they be trying to do. So yeah, man, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't be understanding. You know what I'm saying? I want a righteous man, but he know when to sin. Like, what are you saying? Like, what's, yeah, I want that righteous man, but he know when to sin. Like, what are you saying? Like, I want that guy, but he know when to be a devil too, though. Like, man, what, like, y'all want a ball of confusion. That's literally what y'all want. Like that, like, come on, man. Like, that just makes no sense. So when you had those type of requirements, you will never be satisfied. You will never be satisfied. And that's why some of those individuals are never satisfied. Like, dude, what? You know what I'm saying? I want this righteous man, but he know when to sin too. Like, no, you don't want that. Matter of fact, that's the individual that you don't want. The righteous guy, but then, oh, he gonna sin when he want to sin. Like, dude, like, that's a contradictory, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a hypocrite. You don't want that. You know, that's crazy. Yeah, Lorenzo, I believe. Yeah, that's her. That's the wife, y'all. Yeah, Devontae, I'm telling you, man. I wouldn't make this up. I can't make this up. I've literally heard these type of things. Like, man, you literally just described every characteristic trait in the book that you want in a person. Yeah, C squared for sure. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a gang banger, but then, you know what I'm saying, you in the feds too. You part of the feds as well. Like, but you, again, ain't no snitch, none of that. You know, like, what? Kyle, peace, what's happening? So it's like, dude, like, some of this stuff makes no sense. Like, if you got preferences that make sense, cool. But when you start wanting people to be like polar opposites, Shane, the peace queen, what's happening? When you got people that when you want people to be polar opposites, when you snap your fingers, like, come on, man. You got to know that, like, that's irrational and that don't make any type of sense. Like I said, man, you want the righteous guy, but he know when to sin. You want the healthy guy, but he know when to get a little unhealthy. Like, huh? Like, come on. Like, what do we be on? Again, which is why you want a big ball of confusion. You want a confused person that has no principles, no morals, no discipline, nothing that they stand on. So when you say you want all of these characteristic traits in one dude, you telling me you want an undisciplined dude. You want a dude that lacks discipline. When you tell me you want a righteous guy but knows when to sin type deal, like, you want a guy that lacks discipline. That's what you want. You want a guy that lacks discipline, has no self-control, things along those lines. That's literally what you out here saying. Big ball of confusion. You want a confused guy that has nothing that they stand for and stand on. That is what you are saying. Yeah, Montel, for sure. You know what I'm saying? For sure. You say you think it's based off of temporary emotion. Sometimes the emotions be a little bit permanent actually. That's how these people be feeling permanently. And wife, y'all, first of all, you know what I'm saying, we don't want you out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So forget the lady in the street. We don't want y'all out in the streets at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want you out in the streets. Like, that's what we really don't want. We don't want you out in the streets. Like, that ain't what we want. But again, even on that particular topic, we going out in public, and even with that, going out in public versus you going, like, say you going out without me being present. You know what I'm saying? It's like a trust factor there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why somebody would even say that. Like, we don't want you going out in public without us being there amongst dudes with that type of mentality. Like, for one, we don't trust that. So of course, like, when it's in private, then you had those type of things. But again, we talking about the way we conduct ourselves in public places. Women be literally wanting these things when they snap their fingers. So it ain't necessarily a situation where it's involving one act, a sexual act, to where we say, all right, now we want you to act this way. No, these women are basically saying they want this dude to transform into this type of guy when I'm ready for it, when I snap my fingers. So it's not just one act that's like, all right, now you need to know when to sin. It's like, nah, It's like you almost got to be a mind reader. You're like, all right, this is the time where I sin, I guess. Like, nah, like, no. Like, we don't have time for that. It's a big ball of confusion. Big ball of confusion. Big ball of confusion. So you get the righteous dude, like I said, discipline. You get the righteous dude. And prime example about, you know what I'm saying? Prime example about how this go. You get the righteous guy. Okay, you talking about I need righteous guy, but he know when to sin, things like this. Okay, get you the righteous guy. The righteous guy again. This is how it's gonna work. The righteous guy, okay, when we out in public, when I'm out in public, I'm representing the brand. You know what I'm saying? We representing the brand. We reflections of one another, things like that. I'm gonna conduct myself in this manner when we out in public, when we on screen, because we representing one another, things along those lines. When we in private, then of course you gonna do the things that the public ain't necessarily gotta see. That ain't got nothing to do with sinning and going crazy though. You know what I'm saying? You gonna do the things that everybody don't need to see and hear about, which is also part of righteousness, because people don't need to see nor hear about these things. You know, but when you start saying, I want the righteous, I want this dude, I want the tall guy with the short man, you literally things that don't even make any sense. You want a bank manager but scamming the banks. Like somebody will say something that stupid. And so you say saw a post, a young lady said a BBL is an investment, it'll attract a lawyer or a doctor. That's what we dealing with. And that's funny. Listen, crazy. It will attract, and that people out here, that's a preference. I told you, people out here dating based on career fields. So they're like, all right, if they're a doctor and a lawyer, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let me date a doctor or a lawyer. Man, I can tell y'all, I have met a few doctors, I've met a few lawyers working in banking, and they are some of the most arrogant individuals. Like, they personality trash. Most of the lawyers and doctors that I have come across. Now, again, I got a homeboy that's a lawyer. Dude, cool as a fan. But on average, most of the lawyers and the doctors that I have come across, I can't stand them in regards to their personality. So again, date based on career fields if you want to. If that's what qualifies somebody as being good, go ahead and do that. I can tell you right now that you're gonna come across a lot of trash individuals. It's almost like when you have celebrities and whatnot that you rock with, then you meet them in person and find out they garbage as a person. It's like, man, a lot of these people that's in these fields that everybody be pursuing, like pursuing the people that's in those fields, like a lot of them people be trash, man. Be trash as a person. Be trash, man. Man, I met a lot of like doctors, man, trash. Trash, man. They entitled, arrogant. You can't tell them nothing. Trash, dude. Like, hold on, nah, this ain't that. Yeah, Devontae, Superman by day, Batman by night. Man, Chucky. You know what I'm saying? Freddy Krueger while we sleeping. Like, man, they want everything, man. Like, what in the world? You know what I'm saying? Superman, Batman, then Freddy Krueger when we sleep. Like, what? Oh yeah, the ring for sure, for sure. And people don't talk about hypersexuality in the black communities and how that affects a lot of black women for sure though. It affects a lot of black women, and then them being molested. That can also lead to hypersexuality. Like that's stuff, even in the boys. You know, all of these things could lead to hypersexuality, man. And a lot of times that stuff is not discussed. But yeah, for sure though. Man, Jared, boy, I'm telling you, I really Ray Peace was happening. I haven't had many good experiences with doctors. Them dudes are very entitled, yo. So I'm like, if you dating based off of career fields and you just want to date doctors and you trying to attract doctors, hey, be my guest. You finna get treated like trash, and you ain't about to understand it. Like, I didn't think he would treat me like that because he's a doctor. Again, just stupid. Ashley, man, yeah. Ooh, man, I'm telling you. Nah, I'm telling you, boy, I am telling you. Then these doctors, they doctors, but then they don't care about their health, so they just have all type of unhealthy habits. They be the main ones smoking, the main ones drinking. Like, man, them be the doctors be the doctors and lawyers be so stressed out and depressed. Like, all right, man, y'all go ahead and date based off of that if you want to. They be the main ones out here cheating. Go ahead, man. Just go ahead. Go ahead. If that's how you know what I'm saying? If that's how you want to move, be my guest. But I know I done chopped it up with a few of those people, man, and I didn't like the experience. I ain't like the experience at all from the doctors. I'm like, man, who do you think you are? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, get out of here. First of all, you done been miseducated, brainwashed, man. So get out of my face. You know, you think you know what you're talking about, but you don't, you know. Yeah, Lorenzo, man, I done ran into that too. Therapists being all out of whack and all of that. But yeah, man, so again, if they out here getting surgery thinking that it's gonna attract doctors and lawyers, go ahead and take that L. Go ahead and take that L, man. Like that's like that. Those are L's. Those are L's. Those are most definitely L's that you're gonna take when you date based off of somebody's career field. Like that's it. Now again, it's your preference, but understand the L that you're gonna take. Yeah, Justin, I done met a few that was living on edge. You know what I'm saying? I done met a few that was living on edge. Like if you were a therapist, that's like, damn, hold on, whoa, wait a minute. Let me bring out the couch for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, dang. It's almost like in my field, like trainers needing trainers and things like that. You know, it's a difference between me needing a trainer just to like push me, or you know what I'm saying, just take me to the next level when I'm already opposed to me just being a trainer, not taking care of myself, and I need a trainer because of that. Like, nah, man, hold on. Like, I got this information. I should be in much better shape just off of the strength of me doing this and having this information. Solo T, peace. What's happening? What's the word? But you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all gonna need, you know what I'm saying? A therapist definitely needs somebody to talk to when they doing all the saving. A trainer definitely can benefit from having another trainer because again, I ain't always able to see my form and technique, but it's like I ain't gonna rely on that and depend on it. It's cool when I get it. But hey, man, I think hold up here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tap in with y'all on the question, man. I'm about to finish my fifth book for the year thus far. Y'all know I told y'all I had a goal, man. I had a goal to read 60 books this year. I don't know if you all have any book reading goals. Let me know if you do. And if you have a certain amount of books you're trying to read by this year, by the end of this year, where you at with it? Because I'm about to finish book 5 today. So I hit 5 books this month, man. 5 books in the month of January, man. So I'm on pace to reach my goal, man. So I know y'all got, I know we got some readers on here, man. I know y'all got some goals. I know my goal might be a lot higher than most, but hey, it is what it is. Oh yeah, Antonio for sure. Yeah, How Not to Die, man. That's my book. That's my joint right there. So I'm gonna get y'all. We gonna turn up on the reading. Yeah, we gonna turn up on it. We gonna turn up on the reading a little bit, man. We gonna turn up on it for sure. I had a book that I'm about to start on. I think this behind me. It's gonna be one of the next books y'all see. Y'all see me tap into right here, man. Hey, this mug called Evicted: Poverty and Profit in the American City. Evicted: Poverty and Profit in the American City, man. That's gonna be another joint that I tap into. Yeah, that's gonna be my next joint that I tap into. All right, Shane, you said 15 sure, but more than 500 pages. Boy, yeah, I got plenty of more than 500 page books. Yeah, I'm plenty of those. Take a lot of discipline to get through those joints for sure. But yeah, man, we knocking these goals down, man. We knocking these goals down. We accomplishing these goals. We educating ourselves, self-education and all of that good stuff, man. So I hope everybody is on track to accomplish whatever it is that you striving to accomplish. I hope y'all on track or on pace or on par to do it. Because I know that I am, and I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna stop until I get it done. Job for sure. Book of life, man. We always got the book of life. You know what I'm saying? I got the book of life in my book bag. I keep my book of life on me everywhere that I go. Y'all heard me. Y'all heard us talk about the book of life. You know what I'm saying? That's your Bible, man. That's you jotting things down about your life, man, that you observing, that you experiencing. That's your book of life. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be that should be the book, the Bible that you pass down to your children. Like, I done did all this living. Here go this book of life. Here go the Jews based off of my experiences. Here they go. But we don't be jotting them down though. But man, with that being said, man, I'm going to tap out so that I can finish this book. Few pages left in this joint, the book that I'm reading now. So again, I'm gonna tap out for the night, man. Hey, January has been nice. Been nice. We're gonna tap in again with you all. I'll probably tap in with y'all on Wednesday. What's today? Monday. Yeah, probably tap in again with y'all on Wednesday, most definitely. Might do a little short joint tomorrow. It is what it is. Y'all already know how it go. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate the donations, all the comments, all that good stuff. It's always peaceful vibes, man. Always peaceful vibes. But I'm out, y'all. Be easy, y'all. Peace.